Why is patience considered the most powerful and difficult spiritual practice?
Okay, that's a good question, actually. Are you already filming? Okay. Repeat it one more time, just so I hear.
Why is patience considered the most powerful and difficult spiritual practice?
So it's a very specific question, but it's about patience. Why is patience considered the most difficult and, what was the second part?
Difficult and powerful.
Powerful spiritual practice. I think patience is very important because it's actually an expression of faith. If you have very strong faith, then patience will come completely easily. For instance, if I tell you that I'm going to come back in 20 minutes with some delicious food for you, and you have no faith in me, it'll be very difficult to wait, right? Whereas if I tell you I'm going to come back in 20 minutes, and you have complete faith in me, then those 20 minutes you actually spend like very easily in a joyful mood. So it has to do with faith. And why is patience important? Because you might not see results or awakening experiences, like if you're meditating every day for years, you might not see that. You might see that in hours, you might see it in minutes, but you might not see it for years. So patience is very important. You have to continue persistently, and it's directly correlated to your faith. So if you have great faith in yourself, the universe at large, and larger reality, then patience for your progress, patience for your everyday life and improvement and evolution will come like nothing. It'll be effortless because, like I said, if you're waiting for the delicious food but you know it comes, you have that faith that it's coming, that your friend will come back, you trust him, then it's nothing. You just wait and you enjoy your time. But if you have no faith, even by 2 minutes in, if it's 20 minutes you're waiting, you might be really doubting everything. So for any progress to happen, you have to have patience. That's my answer. Good question, though. This is kind of the style that I want to do, is like just throw out different random questions and kind of loosen up, get comfortable, and then just see what comes out.
How does unconditional patience lead directly to loving kindness?
Are you just reading things out of the book?
Questions.
Like that's an actual question in the book? Or just change it a little bit. Like make it your own question so you have actually like a reason to ask me it,
Decent question.
You can also just make up a question. There's no real rules. Like if there's something I'm like, dude, I'm actually wondering what your take is on this. That's a good question.
Why do we choose thoughts over being?
Good question. Why do we choose thoughts over being? And the way I actually kind of interpret the question is, why do we choose thoughts over kind of stillness or no thought, right? So the reason people think a lot is because they're just used to thinking all the time. You're used to thinking all the time, then it's a habit. It's like ingrained in your mind, it's ingrained into your subconscious, and it happens automatically, sort of, right? You're just thinking, and even some moment of stillness or just being will seem like out of sequence with everything you're doing if you're in such a phase of always overthinking everything. So you almost want to have to flip it so that being or being in no thoughts becomes like your natural thing, and thoughts seem a little bit out of phase with that. And not a little bit out of phase, but like you can tell the contrast very well. And
What is there to focus on other than thoughts?
it's also a good question. Okay. I feel like Eckhart Tolle, I haven't really read any of his books, but I feel like what he's talking about, I've heard a lot of people talk about it, presence. So like when you're not thinking, there's just presence, which is like a very simple word for just being, or like the beingness of everything just happening. And you can also like, on top of that beingness is different perceptions, like colors and sounds and stuff, but that's the like base level layer. And on top of that you have different perceptions, colors, sounds, images, and then you can even put thoughts on that and color it even more. Thoughts will even color your whole reality even more than that. But what is there to focus on aside to thoughts? You want to get down to the basement level of reality, where it's just presence. And even though that might sound like counterintuitive to like strip reality down to its most simple layer, it's actually the most like blissful experience, and you can't really understand it logically, because the most simple thing and the most basic and fundamental part of yourself and of the whole universe is so devoid of any conflict, because it's a unity, it's a complete like oneness, that it can't be in conflict with itself. It can only just be itself. And so there's no suffering there, there's no issues. It's an issue-free space. It's a thought-free space. So if you go down to that layer where it's just presence, it's like the basic layer where everything, people want to hear something even cooler than this, but they don't understand how cool this is. But it's like, it's the layer at which everything is okay. Like, not in like, oh dude, yeah, everything's alright, but like, fundamentally at that layer, everything is so okay that it's no conflict whatsoever. And it's a profound everything is okay. It's a very deep, like, oh, everything is okay, like for real okay. And that is what you should focus on if you want to, take your mind from focusing on, illusions and repetitive thought patterns and come back to the most simplest and fundamental layer of reality. But how to do that? Different styles of meditation, or just like you can do it intuitively while you play music, while you listen to music, while you do physical motions and activities, while you talk to people, or all of like the different human things you can also engage from that presence place. But the most fundamental practice for it is meditation. So I'll probably talk about that in another video.
What can meditation do to improve your mind?
Refine your question. Like, what type of improvement are you looking for?
What can being present and experiencing no thought do to improve your situation and your problem solving?
Okay. So what can being in a state of clear mind or free from thoughts do to benefit you in your problem solving abilities and in your life? Well, the most important thing about clear mind, or being thought-free, and being in the present, is that you are living in what's real and not in what's not real. When you're present, you're living with the immediate and the actually existing things in your actual perception. It's not like you're pondering memories or things you're imagining about, or future possibilities. When you're present, you're dealing with the immediate actual reality. So how does that make you more efficient of a problem solver or more effective in your life? It makes you more efficient because everything you're dealing with is the raw information from which you will derive the answers to the problems you're looking for. So if you look in your immediate experience, and let's say there's a very simple problem, like two people are arguing, and you're coming up with different solutions in your mind, how to help them both come together, how to mediate the situation. It's actually not going to help you that much to go back in your memory and to think of all the other times people have been arguing and how you've gone through it. It will help you actually more if you're more present and you notice where both of them are coming from right now. Because that's the immediate reality. The other one is kind of a projection. You color in, you draw what's in between the lines and fill in the gaps with your mental projection. If you kind of drop that and see what is really there and focus on the actual present, it becomes a lot easier to deal with the raw information, which will give you the most effective solution. So that comes from a place of not thinking or not overthinking, but actually being engaged in what's happening right now, to a level where kind of excess thoughts and memories and imaginations and projections which you put onto the people really start to melt away. And that will be very effective for you in your life holistically if you're able to engage more in the present, especially in difficult situations. And you'd be surprised, this is a very rare ability. Not a lot of people are able to focus in the present so much that they can solve problems in the immediate reality. So it will help you in work and in social situations like in an unparalleled way, because that ability is actually so rare that people can really deeply engage in the present to the point of blocking out or filtering out through their attention and their presentness unnecessary activity, mental activity, so that they're more effective. So if you engage in that, in being more present through meditation, either in your morning or day-to-day or throughout all the tasks you do through mindfulness, you will be unparalleled in the problem-solving ability you'll have, and in the social situations and how you deal with raw emotions of other people, but also of yourself. So you're not denying anything. If you're really present, you're not hiding anything from yourself by projecting another idea onto it, like, oh, I feel hungry. No, I don't. I'm trying to look thinner or something, and you project another idea. If you're really present, you feel like, oh, I actually feel hungry, and you work with the raw sensations and the raw reality the way it is. So that would be a very important thing to realize about why it's important for meditation as you're in your life perspective, like as a functional whole, as like a complete system. It's very required in the same way that you would brush your teeth. If you want a good dental hygiene, if you want good well-being and to be an effective human being, you need to floss your subconscious with some meditation and bringing yourself present. So that's how I'd answer that question.